Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Excuse me. If I've not made your acquaintance, yet, my name is Julian Galvis. I'll give you that virtual handshake or high five, fist pump, whatever you prefer. And this is the Saturday the Saturday coffee break, episode 14. So once again, if I've not made your acquaintance, it is a pleasure to meet you. And if you've been a loyal subscriber to the channel, thank you very much for tuning into another episode. So for episode 14 today, what are we going to be talking about? We are going to be talking about two drinks. Okay. Speaking of drinks, let me drink my coffee real quick. I have that metal straw today when I'm drinking my coffee and stirring my coffee for two reasons. Well, the first one being that I actually want to be able to stir my coffee. And the other reason is due to the fact that I don't want to stain my teeth, because after a while, black coffee can stain your teeth, from what I've read, from what I've heard. And I've only been drinking black coffee since I was 23. So I'm going to be 26 this year in June, so going on 3 years. Okay. All right, so two drinks. What do I mean by two drinks? Well, what I'm talking about is alcohol. All right, I'm talking about alcohol. Now, there's this Instagram page I follow, or used to follow, whatever. It had to do with Spartan history, and I'm pretty sure the channel is called Spartan History. And it talked about, I'm pretty sure it's been a year since I've looked at it, but I'm very sure it talked about how the Spartans, like the ancient Greek Spartans from the movie 300, but instead of the actors, the actual historical figures, they would still drink, right? They would have wine, but they would not get intoxicated, and they would limit themselves to just two drinks. Okay. Now, back then, wine wasn't as strong as it is now. I'm pretty sure it wasn't as fermented. Now, I don't know too much about wine and the history of alcohol, so I'm not going to speak too much on it, but that's what I hear. Okay. Now, they limited themselves to two drinks whenever it is they would rest. Or when they would have some religious festival or what have you. Now, keep in mind that society was very militaristic and based on very strict discipline. So I don't think they'd be having too many parties or too many like drinking fests, or from what sources tell us. But when they wouldn't get intoxicated. They wouldn't let themselves get intoxicated. They would only have two drinks, okay? Because they believed in the power of moderation, right? Everything in moderation, and stoicism too. And the fact that they wanted to be in complete control of their minds and their bodies. And think about it too, because Sparta, the city-state of Sparta, didn't have any walls. It had no walls. And the only means of defense that it really had were its men, were its Spartan warriors. So they would always need to be alert. They would always need to, to have their mind and body intact. Okay, so for them it was based on survival, and they didn't want any stupid things to happen, right? Because the ideals and the standards that they set for themselves were very, very high, and that's why they were so successful with their military. Okay, now how can we apply this to our lives right now? Well, take me for instance. That is my limit. Okay, whenever I go out drinking, okay, if I go out drinking, that is my limit. Two drinks. I refuse. I will not get drunk in public ever again. And honestly, I have before. I'm 25 right now. I'm young, but in my slightly younger days, I did. I acted like an idiot and everything, and almost got arrested, a couple times and stuff because I was acting like an idiot. I was intoxicated. Okay. It's a little personal story, but whatever. That's what this channel's about, right? We're right, positivity and being honest with ourselves. So anyway, hope you guys don't judge me for that, but yeah. So one of the main reasons why right now I want to limit myself to two drinks in public and to not get drunk in public is because of the profession that I'm going into. Excuse me. Now, the profession that I'm going into is teaching. Okay, I am going to be a teacher. Okay, And if students and parents and the administration know that I get drunk in public, that people start recording, or worse off, if my students or the wrong people start recording, then I could lose my job. Also, I recently started doing a side hustle. Okay, I'm doing some training with Muay Thai. I'm like coaching and like doing some calisthenics exercises with people that want to do it. It's been going well so far. Been doing it for about 2 weeks now, and I want to keep it going. So my point being that if they were to see that if I were to act like that, if I were to act stupid and have beyond 2 drinks and get drunk in public, then that would look really bad on me as a person. But even if you're not in somewhat of the public scope, and I'm not saying that I'm like anyone too important, because I'm just trying to make my start, but it does matter, right? No matter what, no matter who you are, whether you're you know whether people look up, I mean, excuse me, whether you're in the public scope or whether you're not in the public scope or somewhere in between, you still should conduct yourself in a very professional manner. Okay? So the point of this episode, the point of this video is everything in moderation, right? Which, going back to the 2 drinks, that you can still have fun, you can still do your thing, right? You can still have your drinks, you can still go out, you can still laugh, and I'm not at all saying that you should be a monk and you should never have fun, you know? But what I am saying is that, when you do have fun, don't take that too far. Okay. Now there was this very famous Roman emperor. I talked about him before in my other videos. His name was Marcus Aurelius, and he was the Stoic philosopher, the Stoic emperor, right? And he wrote his book, it wasn't even a book. It was his personal journal that kind of became a book. So it's called the Meditations. So, and I'm pretty sure one of the things that he said was, pleasure becomes pain when done too much, or something along those lines. Like, we turns into suffering when we seek it out too much. Something along those lines, right? In the comment section below, quote me if I'm wrong, but the thing I'm trying to say is everything needs to be in moderation. Okay? We can have fun, we can get intimate, right? With our partner or whatever, right? We can go out drinking. Maybe we can smoke here and there, but that shouldn't be our purpose. Pleasure should never get in the way of our purpose or what we are supposed to do, what we are meant to do in life, whatever that is. Whether it's for me, teaching, or someone else playing music, or another person being a therapist or a social worker, whatever. Pleasure should never get in the way of our purpose and should never be the main focus of life. Okay? It should never be our main focus. Pleasure seeking, going out every weekend and drinking and hooking up and like all this stuff, that should not be our main focus. That shouldn't be what makes us happy and content. In fact, it will not make you happy or content doing either of those things every single weekend or day, for that matter, or whatever, pleasure that turns into a vice. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with this, you guys. Everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. 2 drinks. Okay, 2 drinks, and that is it. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee real quick. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I will see you for the next episode next week, episode 15. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and share for more, because I love doing this stuff. And right now I'm not getting paid for it, but I'm doing it because I love doing this. This is what I want to do too. Okay, because I want to share some of my knowledge with you. And even though I'm younger, I'm a young man, I still think that I do have valuable things to say. And I am willing to accept critique, okay? And if you disagree with anything I say, please tell me, please inform me, okay? And we can have a discussion about it, okay? So So once more, I'll see you next week. Have a great day. Finish your coffee. Julian out.